Hello, you guys, and welcome back to our Build Your Frankenplanner series. Today, I am talking about the long-awaited video of basically how we take the categories we created and then all of the information within those categories and put them into our daily system to make them into routines or habits. So I'm excited for this video because I feel like this is part of my planning system that basically is like the most effective way in getting me to be productive, keeping me intentional, and just obtaining some of the specific goals that I make. Ultimately, our categories are kind of areas of our life that we have goals in, right? I mean, they are areas of our life that we want to be effective and productive and intentional with. And technically, that can be goal driven. So, for example, if you want to make sure that you save a certain amount of money, you will have something within your budgeting system, and you will most likely have a section for budgeting or a planner for budgeting. If you want to take care of your home and make sure that you have a cleaning system so that way you can stay on top of things, you might have a cleaning system within your home section or an actual cleaning section, or a place in your catch-all for that. So technically, I think that our categories are different parts of our life that we have, whether they're big or small goals. So in order to plug those into our habits and routines that we want to have in our planner, like for example, I will show you, I keep mine in my catch-all here. And right down here at the bottom, so I see them all the time, I have a morning, day, and evening. Now that doesn't mean that that's exactly how you have to keep track of yours. I just like this system that I found through getting to know the FlyLady system, and I really liked kind of plugging in some of my own things there. Now, for example, I leave them blank because I like to change up what my goals are. My goals change. So as my goals change or priorities change, I need to change some things up. And honestly, some of them serve as reminders because I can create a goal and I can write down the steps to make that goal happen. But if it's not part of my daily habits, it's really not going to happen. And making them part of the daily habits is technically one of the hard parts of obtaining your goal, right? You can say, I will be consistent, but how will you be consistent? So for example, I'm going to kind of show you how some goals that I have and how I come up with making those goals into part of my, this is my weekly layout, my catch-all. This is my weekly everything like planner that I have on my Etsy shop. As you can see, like I have details for cleaning here. I have areas I can make lists. This is what I lay it out to so I can see the whole week at a glance. Many things change with what's going on for that time or season in my life. I like to do a little decorating, obviously. I have a running to-do list. And then I have this side for my future planning. So when I start planning different things throughout the week, like meal planning and stuff like that, this is kind of like what I do for that, like grocery list, stuff like that. So this part kind of remains blank for part of the week. But ultimately, since I know that this is what I need to be successful and effective, productive and intentional throughout the week, I have it laid open like this, and I love having my routines here at the bottom. Some people don't need 3 sections of routines. Maybe they just need 1. Some people need a page. It just depends on what you think you need, and you're going to learn that through trial and error. You're going to learn that through trying different things out to see what works for you. But sometimes we get discouraged when we don't know how to go about that. So today I'm going to try to show you a way that you can try going about that to put habits and routines into your your like weekly or daily system, okay? So I just put this in my Etsy shop if it's something that you want to do as well. I have just this page in my Etsy shop, or I have a bundle which includes this page, let's go back here. So as you can see, this is what it includes. It includes this page, like a year at a glance here. It includes encouragement. These are all encouraging words that I love to kind of use as my daily affirmations. And then I have a planner routines page as well as a list page. But today we are just going to go into goals and routines. These are where I create my goals, and here is where I create my routines. So what I want to do is show you kind of basically some of my own goals and use those to show you how I will incorporate them into my daily routines and, you know, putting them on my habit tracker. Basically how I've come up with the things on my habit tracker. Some things you don't really need to go into the details of this for, but I like showing you this because it basically, I don't know, it basically helps you figure out what really is important to you and how you think that, like, how do I explain that? When you go over your goals in detail, I always got discouraged to do that. Let's just be real. I got discouraged to do that because I didn't know how to do it. Well, it can be pretty simple, and this is kind of like my 3-step process. Now, you can have much more details, but for someone who's just starting out and discouraged like I have been in the past, this I feel like is attainable for someone who doesn't want to go through too many details of creating goals and routines. So I just did this as an example. If I wanted to save $1,000 each month, in order to make that happen, I would 1, set up auto transfer with my bank, and 2, keep a tracker. There's probably a few more steps, but in order to make it happen, that was kind of something that I had thought about. Now, in order to plug that into my routines, I knew that on a daily basis, I have to budget. And budget to me means logging into my bank app and figuring out what is coming in and out of my account, making sure my auto transfer is going, tracking, and all of that. So, you almost might have a routine for budget. But so I wanted to show you guys basically a way that I would take what we did before. So I have my category page open from the previous video of creating categories and then creating what to track within those categories. So if you're new to joining us here, I need to make sure that we are in view here. If you're new to joining us here, in the series, we created our categories over here, and I then put the category here and everything I wanted to track within the category. So if you like this, that video has this as a free printable, and it is, I think it's very helpful with like many types of lists. So the first step you want to do is look over your categories. Look over your categories and the things that you want to track within those categories, okay? And then after that, so step 2, you're going to evaluate a goal, or maybe even you have multiple goals for that category, and some steps to get you there. And then the third step will be to take the steps that you write down here and plug them into a daily, or maybe it might be just something you do once a week. Most likely, though, it'll be a daily routine item. Okay, so let's take a look at one of mine, for example. I not only have like my real goal. This is not my real goal here. It was an example, but my real goal for budgeting is that I want to, basically budgeting, I want to track on a daily basis, and on a weekly basis, I want to do an income report. Right now, I do them on a monthly basis, and I just feel really overwhelmed at the end of the month. So in order to keep me from feeling overwhelmed and having it be like a super long process when all the things are coming out like the first couple days of the month and I'm like, I can't keep up with it. I want to have things together before then. So I figured if I do it on a weekly basis, I know I could do it on a, bi-weekly, but I want to do it on a weekly basis because with my personality, the more often I do something, the quicker and easier it gets every time. So that's what we're gonna write down for my goal. So this is actually going to be one of my actual goals, you guys. So we're setting my goals here as well. So for example, I would write my second goal here is budgeting. It's a budgeting goal. So I'm writing budgeting because that is basically the section of my planner that I want to kind of go to. And then my goal is to track daily, and I know this is kind of like 2 in 1, but and do my expense to income report weekly. Okay, so I have my goal, and then this is always sometimes kind of a hard part is how do I figure out the steps to do that? If I knew the steps to do that, wouldn't I be doing it already? Well, you kind of have to do a little brainstorming, but basically what I know that I will have to do is I will have to open my bank app and expense track every day. So let's write that. Open my banking app, or go online and look at my bank, my bank history. So open my banking app and expense track every day. Okay. Now, if this is going, I'm already seeing that this is going to have to be a habit that I'm going to have to try to figure out how to do that, right? So I'm kind of like thinking ahead right now, but that's something that I want to do. Another thing that I need to do, another step, is I need to, in order to do this, I need to assign a day of, actually, in order to do this, I need to figure out when to do that, right? So I'll kind of put here, when. So when during the day do I have time to do that? Now, if I'm doing this daily, my thoughts are it won't take me as long to do. Right now, doing it weekly is nice, but it takes me at least 15-20 minutes because I'm going through all of the purchases that we have done throughout the week. Some weeks we, purchase more. Christmas can get very chaotic. December and January can, January is like catching up. So I don't want to feel that feeling at the end of the week. I want to be on top of it every day. And that way, if I do miss a day, this, 2 days went by, it's not that bad. Okay, the second thing, because I also said do my expense to income report weekly, is in order to do that, I need to assign a day of the week to review it, basically, to review my expenses to income. Okay, so I'm going to kind of circle these so they stand out a little bit more. So that's going to be another step. So like I said, I kind of have 2 goals within one big one here, but that's okay. And then in order to do this, I need to make sure that I have already printed my review sheets. So I have expense to income review sheets that I use in my budget, which are when I print my monthly budgets, they're these ones. So I need to have them printed. If I don't have them printed, that's just another step, and then my weekly routine here will take too long and I will dread it, and then I will not do it and fall off the wagon. So I'm gonna make sure that I print review sheets at beginning of month. which I have already done that because I've set up my planner for January. However, that is something I need to continually do. Now, we're trying to figure out how to put stuff into our daily routine, but I'm also going to give you a little bit of heads up here. Why I created this sheet to have daily, weekly, and monthly is because some of these things are weekly, and we need to know that. We can have our daily habits and routines happening, and then the week come by and, like I said, fall off the wagon here. And we need to make sure that that doesn't happen. So today we're really creating things that we want to do on a daily basis, and then one of my upcoming videos in this series will be creating weekly routines, so that way we can stay on track from week to week, and then monthly as well. Okay, so I can't do that all in one video or else this video will be way too long, but we will get there. Okay, so let's go over how to plug these into our daily routines. So if on a, I want to, for my budgeting, track daily and do expense to income report weekly. Now, if you don't want to fill out a form like this because basically you know that this is just too much and you're like, I can't do all that, I just want to write it down right now, then write that down in your daily or on your habit tracker, wherever you keep your habits or are trying to keep habits. Write down daily track. I mean, or, you know, budget or whatever you can. And then you are okay to go for that. I want to be a little specific here. So what I'm going to do is write down, and under my daily is track expense track. I should have put expense track. Track expenses. And then as I'm tracking expenses and I do it every day, it gets easier and easier and probably becomes so quick that it's just part of your regular routine and you can get it done within a couple minutes, depending on how much you spent that day or whatnot. So track expenses. Let's see, assign a day of the week to review my expenses to income. So because we're not going over weekly yet, but I'm going to go ahead and write that down, because if you are doing just this process and you're here watching the video so you can kind of see how to use this sheet, that's where I would want to go ahead and plug in a weekly. So on the weekly, you will complete expense, I'm going to shorten things down here, expense to income report or a review sheet. And on a monthly basis, because I think it's smart to print them out for the whole month, you will write print. I have to print like my whole budget pages because I don't print them for the year in case I want to change something because I own them. But print on a monthly basis, you might say print new budget planner or sheets. And if you already have your budget sheets, you might just, need to like maybe set them up or something. So that is honestly how you would use this sheet for your goals, for your steps. You include those steps in your routines. And this down here makes it so much easier to it's like a reference page that you can refer back to on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. Now we are going to get more into the daily. I have another example to show you guys, and then I will show you how I take the information here and even kind of here and plug it into my catch-all. Okay, so we did an example of one of my budgeting goals. Now another one of my goals is I'm going to try to look into setting this up as like a weekly type of thing. So it's more like attainable for me if I look at it as a weekly, or actually monthly. I'm sorry, I'm looking at monthly. So my monthly goal is I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to try to lose. So this is, I'm going to call this fitness or wellness. Fitness. I have a fitness goal. And it is the reason I'm not sure about saying fitness or wellness is because I keep track of my fitness in my wellness section. So I'm going to go ahead and put both because I want to know what section to refer to there. And my goal is to lose 3 to 5 pounds in the month. Okay, now I know 5 pounds is a lot, and then 3 is more attainable. So that's why I did like a whole range there. I was hoping to lose a pound a week. Okay, so my first step is I need to eat well, right? I need to make sure that I eat well. So in order to do that, I need to meal plan. Okay, and that's not just dinners. I need to meal plan many different meals, but you know, luckily I have already started with a lot of things for this. I have already figured out some breakfasts that are healthy for me, that I like, some snacks, you know, and stuff like that. Another step would be to prep my foods. And for that, for me, I need to prep vegetables and proteins. Other things I'm okay with, but having my vegetables and my proteins prepped is so helpful. Luckily, I have learned that about my habits as well. And then the fourth one, I want to make sure that I'm exercising. Now, not too much, but I do want to make sure that I am exercising on a regular basis and doing exercises that are, you know, like healthy, like something that I have fun with. I mean, you know, you can write down all the notes that you want. I want my exercises to be fun. I want them to be, I mean, if you guys really need to know, I'm trying to do 2 to 3 15-minute HIIT style exercises a day, because with my kids, I really can't do much longer than 15 minutes. If I can, great, but I'm trying to make these goals attainable. And 15 minutes is a 15-minute workout is way more attainable than a 30 to 40-minute workout. So if I know in my head I can at least get 15 minutes in before my baby starts wanting my attention and stuff like that, then that's what I'm going to do. And that means I need to make sure that I do some HIIT work in there. It doesn't have to be every single, you know, if I do 2 that day, one of them can be HIIT, one of them can be, you know, weights or whatever. Okay, I'm going too much into my details of my goals, but if you are here for, you know, setting goals, then I kind of wanted you guys to see that. So, and then you can always add some other steps or notes as well. But for this month, here are my ways that I will make this happen. I didn't say log food, which is very important, and I'm glad that I'm remembering that. I purchased the MyFitnessPal like app. What is it? The premium or whatever, and apparently you can scan your food by picture. I'm really hoping that that works. So this is a really good example because there are quite a few things I'm going to need to be doing on a daily basis here. So on a daily basis, I'm not going to write eat well. What I am going to write is, because I do need to eat well on a daily basis, but that's not exactly how, like a habit. I can't write eat well and then check it off. In order to eat well though, I need to eat my vegetables and proteins. So I like to put together like a Tupperware with my vegetables for each day. Lots of vegetables that actually like stay fresh. So that is going to be something that I am going to put on my daily. Did I eat my veggies? Because I prep them. And by the way, I prep my veggies on a weekly basis. So prep veggies. I also prep smoothies in order to have proteins, but I'm going to put prep proteins here because I need other snacks that are full of protein or proteins to add to my meals. So I'm going to put that on a weekly basis as well. Sometimes that's bi-weekly, or not bi-weekly, twice a week. But at least it's under there. So, but every day I need to eat my veggies, and every day I need to eat my protein. So I'm going to write that under daily. And then I'm also going to write exercise. And I'm going to put here 2 to 3 15 minutes, because this is going to help me when I fill in my habit tracker, okay? And then I'm also going to put log food. Now, it depends. Do I want to log my food once a day? I've tried this. I'm not successful at doing it once a day because I can't remember, but I might need to put it 3 times. So like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We'll see. So obviously that was a lot of dailies. And if I run out of room, I shouldn't run out of room because I'm full here. But if you have more than 3 goals, print another sheet and continue. Okay, so we have my goals, we have our steps, and those steps incorporated into daily. Let me just make sure I need to add meal plan to my weekly. And monthly, I want to do measurements. Now, if you wanted to track your weight on a weekly basis or monthly basis, then you could add that there as well. But that's what I'm going to keep it as for now. And now we're going to show you how I incorporate this in order to make it effective in my daily and weekly planning. So we're bringing in my my system here. This is my planning system here. And as you can see, for this is my current week here, I have in a morning, day, and an evening routine. And in my morning routine, I have 15-minute movement right here. Okay? In my day routine, so this is kind of like anywhere between like 11 to like 3-ish. I have my veggies there. And I have 15-minute movement. In my evening routine, I have meal prep because I want to make sure that everything's ready for the next day, which includes making sure my proteins are there. And I also have 15-minute movement if I have time. I just want to say that these, just because they aren't checked off doesn't mean you failed. If they aren't checked off, or if they are checked off, these are just like if you keep like a tracker in your budget for your bills. It's showing you trends. It is not showing you that you're failing, or if you don't have check marks, like you're not successful. It is showing you trends, and you make adjustments with how you figure out how you like to plan and go about getting things done. Okay? These show trends. Try not to look at them as successes or failures. Be proud of yourself if you are getting through the things, but maybe it's just not a goal that you can do right now. So for example, sometimes I don't get to laundry in the middle of the day, and there's hardly any check marks here. If I do though, I can look over here and I'm reminded that I need to do the laundry, or like go switch over the laundry or whatever. My idea for this is to put laundry in, switch it over, and sometimes I have it here, fold. Or a lot of times my husband will put the laundry in for me at nighttime. So in the morning I switch it over and then fold. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of work it into your system, and it takes time to figure that out. Now I'm going to take these and we are going to start filling out my planner for next week. So the next step that I would do is I would take my dailies here. And remember, I want to budget every single day, and it is part of my morning routine. I have sat down and made my planner routines here. So for me, there's so much in my morning routine that I would probably end up putting planner system or something here, like AM planning, and then I would go over here and get to this list because budgeting is part of that list. But if I wanted it to be in my actual like catch-all here, and it's just that specific step, then I would end up I'm going to write it here. So the next step is you want to ask yourself, these are daily, but they don't necessarily, there's hours in a day. When is it appropriate in my life and to do these things? So is budgeting and tracking my expenses something I can do in the morning, something I can do during the day, or something that works better for me to do in the evening. So for me, I'm trying to get it done when I wake up. I don't want a whole bunch of other things to do throughout the day, so I'm going to try to track my expenses in the morning when I do like my whole planner system. So I'm gonna go ahead and write track expenses here. Now, if I find that I don't do this in the morning, but I did it like in the evening or sometime during the day, I'm still gonna go back and check it off. Just because I assigned it for the morning doesn't mean that I can't do it another time throughout the day. Many times I go back and I go, oh, in the morning, I had planned to do 15-minute movement and I didn't, but I'm doing it during the day or something like that. So, okay, so I'm gonna write track expenses here. And if you want to, you can kind of check it off that you added it to your daily or weekly habit tracker. Because this is not something I see on a daily basis. That's why I'm transferring it to the page that I do see on a daily basis. If you know me, you know I don't like to flip through things throughout the day. I like it to all be there. That's why my catch-all weekly is the most important part of my system. Okay, the other thing is, now I don't usually eat, and when I say veggies, that's like my prepped veggies. I don't usually eat these things. I usually eat them around lunchtime. Protein I have in the middle of the day, so I'm gonna wait to write that down as well. But I did wanna do a 15-minute exercise. So I'm gonna write that, exercise or movement, and I'm gonna write 15-minute, okay? And then something else, I think if I really want to make logging my food easier throughout the day, I'm gonna have to log in the morning. So whatever I ate that morning so far, and I'm probably gonna need to make it part of my midday and evening routine as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and write it here and here. Now you can write so much and run out of space, but the reason I kept these kind of small is because I don't want to get overwhelmed. If there's something you do on a regular basis, like say you have making your bed down, you're not gonna write that in. Like I started writing and I actually wrote it down because I liked checking it off. I wrote it down on my page here, dishes. But I have, because it's been on there and because I have made it part of my morning routine every single day, I actually now don't like not having the dishes, I shouldn't say dishes ready. I don't like, if I basically, I don't want to say have to, but it is so important to me because I stay at home with the kids and I'm busy throughout the day. It's so important to me to, at some point before I make breakfast for us all, to clear out the dishwasher. Because once we start filling the sink up with dishes, I want to put them where I can't see them. So I need the dishwasher to be cleared out so that way I can put the dishes in there, the dirty ones. So it has now become part of my habit and I actually don't need to write it in anymore. So if I run out of space here, I'm trying to say that it's better to have things that you're trying to do than things you already have accomplished, almost like you do it without like needing prompting or anything. So if you make your bed on a regular basis, then, unless you want to see more check marks because that keeps you going, write it down. That's why I do have doing the dishes, because I like checking it off. I like feeling that success, even though I know deep down this is not about success, success and failing. This is about seeing trends and about reminding yourself what you want to have done. It still is fun to check it off. Okay, so I need to make sure that I am reminded to log my food 3 times a day. Let's see, I have that check marked. Okay, So let's go back through. Budgeting is kind of like tracking my expenses, so I'm really not going to do that on a daily, but that was written as the example from up there. Now I need to see, when am I going to eat my veggies? So I need that reminder midday, so I'm going to put my veggies here. And protein as well. I kind of still wonder if I should put it in the morning, because usually I have my protein, like a protein shake after my exercise. And then I also need to eat protein like during the day. So I'm actually going to go ahead and add it to both. If I was running out of room, I probably wouldn't add it to both, but I'm going to go ahead and do that because so far, like, I'm okay on my goals, but this is just 2 of my goals. So now you can kind of see how I come up with my day routines per the goals that I have. Let's go back to my section, or my planner categories here. Now, those are just budgeting and wellness or fitness here. If I wanted to, I would, I'm not going to do it for the sake of this video and the length that it would end up being, but I could write down my goals for my home and family, and meal planning, that's like a weekly one, but getting to my to-do list. I'm finding that I'm not getting to my to-do list, and I really need to do that. I need to get to this to-do list because some things aren't getting done. So I might write to-do list in here, like mama's break is, I get it in the middle of the day. I make sure I take a mama break, and that could be when I get to my to-do list. It's not what I want to do on my break, but maybe I can have my mommy break and, you know, an extra 15 minutes or something like that. Decluttering and organization. That is why I have that as part of, right now, because we're moving, I have included it with pack, but HC for me is home care, and home care means cleaning for me. So I have that part, I have that here. And when I need to know what to do for home care, I either go to my home care system, which is right here, but because I'm starting this kind of newer system here with my planner in 2022, I'm going to do that on a weekly basis when I do my weekly planning. So I will go here and I will set up, now we're getting into details that I shouldn't be, but I will go in here and I will write down what I'm cleaning each day, or, you know, an idea anyway. So that is basically how I would go about writing in my decluttering and organization and cleaning system. When does that work in my schedule for the day? Would I be more successful if I cleaned in the morning, midday, or evening? And for me, currently, it is written in, I have it written in the morning and in the evening. So that's when I can fit in even just 15 minutes. So that is basically how I go about my categories to my goals and routines, and then having it on my weekly catch-all so I can see it super easy, laid out for me every single day. And again, that is why I am so successful with doing the dishes. I did not enjoy it at first, but the more and more I did it, and the more and more I saw it on here and I wanted it checked off, the easier and easier it got. And now I don't even need to have it on my routine, in my routines here. I did want to mention, I don't have the sticker book here, but many, you can get stickers that have habit trackers. If you don't have this type of planner, you can, you know, use highlighters. You can, even just on a blank sheet of paper, you can, you know, write your goal and write how many days there are in a week and check them off, or use highlighters to make like a quick box or circle and then check them off throughout the week. It doesn't have to be fancy. And I will be going into how to make sure that you do your weekly items on a regular basis as well, because daily is one thing. If you do it every day, it's a lot easier to make part of your consistent routine. But when the week comes, you haven't done those things in 7 days, 6 to 7 days. So making sure that we stay consistent on a weekly and monthly basis will be coming up soon. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Those of you that are following along with the Build Your Frankenplanner series, thank you so much, and I hope that you enjoyed this and that this helps you build your Frankenplanner and system. And if you are just here to see how I go about my goals and routines and being successful with being productive and intentional every day, I hope this helped you as well. If you guys want this sheet, or this planner, like, it's all in my Etsy shop linked down below, and thank you so much for your support. You can buy it and print as many as you ever want. And I just want to thank you guys and hope that you guys are looking forward to the new year and that this is helping you get your systems ready. So let me know down below how you guys feel about your new planning, your 2022 planning system. If this was helpful, I would love to hear those things and just hear how you guys are doing. I'm also on Instagram at Mandy_Chavez chapters, where I give you guys a lot of insight before I can on YouTube. So check it out there and come be part of that community with me as well. And have an awesome, beautiful, blessed day and year. Bye, guys.